There is tons and tons of new due diligence coming out on GameStop, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and it blows my mind, and we can't really cover the entire DD that I am about to show you that I am seeing on Reddit, but we have some big news coming into January 9th. We are seeing the SPY explode. We are seeing crypto explode. I also want to let you know that I recorded this video once already, and there will be drawings on the screen because for some reason, my display was not being captured the first time when I recorded this. So please just like the video for me because this is very, very, very aggravating. Now, to start the video off, Roaring Kitty, what is going on? What is going on with the January 9th topic that I'm talking about? Also throughout today's video, I have come up with what I think are the best trades. I have parked my money in these trades, and I'm going to explain them throughout the video because with all of the chaos going on within the markets, this whipsaw that we're seeing, I believe that it is just best to park your money, have a trade plan, and I'm going to explain what that plan actually is, and it does have to do with these squeeze plays. So first of all, there's a lot of due diligence going on with Roaring Kitty and Chewy stock. A lot of people are mistaking this for Woof, W-O-O-F, because that is essentially what they say in the Reddit DD. They're talking about Woof. They say woof, woof, but they clearly show the chart. Anyway, to actually know for exactly which stock it is because of the data, right? Roaring Kitty showed us that he purchased Chewy, right? There was a legitimate filing that you can't go around. So clearly him dropping the dog was talking about Chewy. Now he posted the blue dog, then he posted him dropping the dog, which is Andy dropping Woody, because the toy is broken. Now, there's a lot of DD covering what Roaring Kitty's timeline could be about: margin calls, stock market crashing, the Japan markets, etc., which essentially leads us into what we are about to talk about, which is the January 9th situation. Now, if many of you don't know, the market got randomly closed for January 9th for mourning of a dead president. Now, what I said when I saw that is that there is likely more behind the scenes to cause this, and somebody has actually done the digging and basically figured out what that actually is. Now, this does correlate, and it is that the SEC is receiving so many requests to see the GameStop FTD data, the failure to deliver data, that they forced to invoke a 10-day extension to the standard 20-day statutory period for FOIA requests. Obviously, the SEC is not protecting retail investors. They are protecting these scumbag hedge funds, these institutions. They are protecting the entire market. But why are they not showing the FTDs this time around? Why do they pick now when GameStop is deciding to move up? Why did they decide to close the markets? Well, if you actually do a little bit of deep digging, it is because of FINRA margin calls. There are specific dates that are happening, and it all comes down to a simple breakdown. I'll give you the too long didn't read in my own version. December 22nd, someone short on GameStop and Wolf failed and got margin called on December 3rd, 2024. So many GameStop and Wolf shares failed to deliver that the SEC withheld the data for December 2nd and December 3rd to avoid foreseeable harm, which we talked about. And on December 5th, 2024, someone bought a lot of GameStop with the high GameStop volume this day, suggesting an attempt to juggle those shares among shorts. Unable to deliver the shares for the December 5th purchase, the SEC withheld FTD data for the 6th and the 9th to avoid, again, foreseeable harm. Now, January 9th is the due date for both the December 3rd margin call and the C35 share delivery. January 9th, 2025 was chosen to close the markets, aka freeze equity prices, while clearing and settlement continue to operate over at the DTCC. Does that sound familiar? Now, in my opinion, we are guaranteed in a requel, but what Roaring Kitty's gift could have meant alongside all the Unity stuff, alongside GameStop, is give me my shares, right? Give me my shares, give it to me, baby. And that is something that could just correlate. But overall, January 9th is a very, very exciting day. Not only for GameStop, but I want to talk about everything as a whole and go over these trades that I kind of gave you. First of all, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel. SPY got a nice rally today alongside crypto. And This is looking pretty bullish. We got technically a triple bottom, even though we sold off a little bit, but we bounced perfectly off of this zone right around 580, which is important for the SPY. I would not give this 100% bullish confirmation just yet, even though I did take entry on my positions. What I think is happening for the SPY, if we are in a requel, take a look at this trading coming into early January, right? You have this chop trade, this low, and then these highs before coming lower late January, and then essentially crashing after February 20th. And you come back and you look, the price action is the same, okay? The price action is the exact same. Now, given this is a 5-minute chart, this is a 4-hour chart, you can see the discrepancy, but everything is lining up perfectly. With that being said, lottery sucks. What do you see? Well, we could see a potential high in the SPY at this time frame between January 16th and January 27th. That time frame right there, that is going to make all-time highs for the SPY. But not only then, what's going to happen after that, you are likely to see all-time highs again for a second time after the SPY cools off between February 11th and February 20th, and then an absolute collapse on the overall market. Now, what's so important about this as well is I don't necessarily think today was the number one buying opportunity to get in, but it could have been. Now, what I mean by that is because when GameStop and AMC are going to jump on the 8th, which is the beginning of it, I think, and going into the 9th, et cetera, when the market's closed, the SPYs likely have a very brief flush down. And that will be next week. And that, I think, will be the number one buying opportunity where people are thinking that we are going to crash, but instead the market's picked back up, make that high. So one of the first trades that I took was SPY February 28th, $635 calls. The next thing we're talking about is GameStop. Obviously, got this beautiful pop, exactly what we've been calling out, has been coming to fruition. We are on point with the algorithm this time. Now, what this means is GameStop is likely to come back down Monday and retest $30.60 or $30.30, right? This low down here, this floor right here. And then later that day or coming into Tuesday, you get that pop finally breaking out of this flag, retrade on this flag in this zone right here, coming into the 8th. And then when the market's closed in the 13th, 18th, so on and so forth, GameStop is squeezing, right? That is something that we are watching for right now. And GameStop, historically, if this is a requel topped out around January 28th, this is the next position. February 21st, GameStop $60 calls is something that I added. Now, I had GameStop calls before, but I just added some. GameStop's up 4%. Overall, everything is looking good. The next trade that I added, and don't worry, we're going to talk a little bit about AMC and some more stuff right now, is DJT March 21st, $50 calls because Trump is coming back in, and we saw a nice move back then into March, and that is what I see happening potentially, right? Some of these are riskier trades. Unity, disregard, most stuff. I know people are aggravated with Unity, but the options chain is looking a little bit weird with people purchasing these types of calls, and it could be a YOLO entry. And these calls are January 17th, $60 and $70 calls. And then the last trade is going to be BlackBerry. BlackBerry is trading at $3.67, down 4% on the day. January 24th, $5 calls is something that I'm eyeing up. There are some other calls that I talked about in Discord for some other plays, like Sava, SAVA, so on and so forth. Now, I know people got this Reddit DD mixed up with Wolf. Don't kick Wolf off your radar because it's actually looking pretty good since April, May, like our other plays, and it's sitting at a 30% short interest. So keep this one on your radar as well. A lot of people also kicked Chewy off of the bandwagon after Roaring Kitty decided to drop it. But we are in this rising wedge, which we called out, and we got a beautiful pop up 5% on the day. It's moving with GameStop, right? It's testing a fib level at $35.30, coming higher. If this thing decides to close up here, we could see a nice smooth cruise up to $40 to $41 and potentially even higher, $56 and in the $83 range. And again, it's been up there before, right? It's been past $120 before, okay? Nvidia got a beautiful pop. It is now trading in the middle of this range between what I would like to call a supply zone and a demand zone. Hopefully it will act as a demand zone. If Nvidia decides to sell off at all, watch for a bounce around 140 or 139.50 the most, right, for Nvidia to sell off. As of right now, it is currently bullish. Tesla got a relief bounce. Does that mean this is the bottom? Not necessarily, but Tesla coming into the Elon Trump buddy situation in the inauguration could have another leg up and break all-time highs. With that being said, can it sell off further from here? Yes, it can come back down to 362 because it didn't hit that yet. And in my opinion, if we close above 422, that is when I think Tesla is bullish once again. You come up to 422 and you close above that, I think you might be due for another leg up. And then coming into late February with the market, you crash back down and it's going to be a brutal one. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. This one is probably a little bit shorter because I recorded it once and now I had to record it twice, so I kind of just breezed through everything. But ultimately, I am excited. These are the trades that I have for you. Let me know if you enjoyed watching the video, and if you haven't yet, make sure to join the Discord. It's the top link in the description where you can come talk with me. I also post my trades as soon as I enter them. Talk stocks with the most amazing people. We are almost at 1,000 members in there. There are no bad questions, whether you're a beginner or advanced trader. This is the place to go for the new year. I'm telling you guys, you will not regret it. And we also have market news alerts in there, option sweep alerts, dark pool trade alerts, insider trade alerts, and more. Obviously, it is a good price. You will not notice it with the value you get out of it. And if you guys want up to 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, and level 2 order book data for free, so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off shares of any given stock, access to trading options and shorting as a retail trader, and a ton of other benefits, use this link. It's a free broker for Mumu. Once you sign up through my link and deposit into your account, you will start earning benefits from there. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you. Make sure to turn post notifications on for the channel, subscribe to the channel, all that other good stuff. Let me know what number like you are. And yeah, that is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Socks out.